welcome back to the Positively Craig YouTube channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Thank you for joining in this new video that's coming out to you today. A bit of an update in regards to current events, a lot of things that have been happening recently, and obviously how we're feeling about it and how it's all sort of come to light. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back everybody. Yep, this is a very special edition of the Positively Craig YouTube channel video. This one is a lot about what's going on in the world right now. Obviously the main topics, as I've said in the intro, as you can see in the clip, is talking about obviously COVID and how that has affected schools, and also how a lot of people are dealing with not being able to go to festivals, not been able to do a lot of obviously what they're normally doing in regards to going out, seeing friends, seeing family, various things like that. Now, I know there's lots of issues in regards to us missing people. A lot of people who've bought a lot of tickets out there, especially to festivals and various things. But, you know, I think one of the things that we need to understand in regards to that is how we choose to come together, spend time together, and whether or not, you know, is it worth doing these illegal house parties that are just messing everything up for a lot of people, and obviously it's causing a lot of things to go a lot slower, open up a lot slower, and us not getting where we need to go. So let's go into this in a little bit more detail. Okay, so if you're like me, your kids will have gone back to school by now. They'll all be back in, usually either staggered on set days, obviously with the if you're like me, your kids will have gone back to school by now, and they'll be on set days, set times in. Obviously in regards to the COVID restrictions, you know, how has it been for you? Now obviously this is the first week that they've all gone back in the UK. Obviously I don't know in regards to people around the world, obviously how that's working in regards to which country you're in. Obviously if you are in different countries, I'd love to hear whether or not your kids have gone back yet, or whether it's not been affected and your kids have been obviously going back as normal. I'd be interested to find that out. But yeah, let's look at how things are in the UK. Now I know I've spoke to a lot of parents in regards to how they're feeling. One of the big things is a lot of parents are like, right, okay, the kids are finally back to school. Wow, I know. A lot of you guys out there, it's been a long time obviously with the lockdown, then went from lockdown right into summer holidays. So it's been a long time for a lot of families to have the kids at home. It's been fantastic, spending a lot of time with them, but I know there is some parents out there who I've spoken to have said that, you know, they're starting to get into their feet a little bit. They're sort of looking forward to them going back. The kids are bored, there's not much going on. And I've even spoke to some of obviously when I've been with the parents, their children who are with them as well, about how they feel about going back to school. Now a lot of schools have, as I say, reopened. Face masks aren't mandatory unless you're in corridors or certain areas, and a lot of the kids I've spoken to whilst the parents have been there have been excited about it. They found it sort of pretty much no different. Obviously there is social distancing, there's things they can't do. Some schools are keeping them in, they're not allowed to go out to obviously into the playground for mixing, so they've got to stay in the classes during break time. That's one of the big things I know that the kids are suffering with. But it's safety. We've got to think about the safety of our children, safety of other people's children, and also the safety of the families who potentially, if any children are carrying any coronavirus or any sort of like outside contaminants, are they bringing that back into the house? Now again, that's something else that a lot of people have been speaking to me about, worried about not so much of the kids going to school, not so much the kids catching COVID, but they are talking about bringing it home to people who are vulnerable in their houses, bringing it home to family members who haven't contracted COVID or have been in, you know, self-isolation, and that's one of the main concerns. Now, how do you feel about this? What's been your take on this? I know it's been very tough. Some people out there, you know, do have a lot of children and they all have to go to school and they're mixing different schools, so potentially in some cases, say you have 3 or 4 children and they all go to different schools, say for instance, boys schools, girls schools, mixed schools, somebody might be in college, some might be in university. Obviously, you've got all these different places all coming back into the one house, mixing together and potentially going back out into the world again. So are we risking transmitting, carrying this disease to different locations? For instance, as just an example, if it was in a school, someone brought it home and then someone took it to college, and then from college maybe to university, are we risking spreading this disease again? We just don't know. We're in a bit of an unknown at the moment, and this is the tough part, is that it's sort of a wait to see what happens. Now obviously this is only the first week. I'm pretty sure maybe by next week, after about 2 weeks of the kids going back to school, universities, colleges, even some people going back to work who work from home, that's when I think we'll start to see if the cases are rising, because cases are still rising. There's certain places been now brought restrictions in. For instance, Bolton was this morning, they've been sort of like brought down. That's Bolton in Lancashire in England. Really tough for you guys out there. It is still out there, it is still rife. We are worried about this second peak, but we have to make sure our kids are being educated. We have to make sure that our kids are having an education for the future, because coronavirus and COVID will not last forever. But what's going to happen after this? Are they going to miss out on vital information, vital learning for their lives? Are they going to be sort of the COVID generation, as I've heard someone call it? It's a tough thing for us to think about. A lot of people out there are worried about it, me included, as I have children, but only time will tell, and all we can do is sort of keep an eye on it and be safe, and remember to always try and social distance when you can, and do absolutely the best you can when you can. Okay, now we're on to the fun part. House parties, indoor raves. Now, I know there's lots of you out there who had booked to go to festivals, Reminisce, Creamfields, Glastonbury, all these different festivals that have been on, and they've all been cancelled or postponed, because obviously you can't mix thousands of people together in big tents, in hot environments. It's just asking for trouble in regards to spreading the virus. But I know a lot of you out there, a lot of my friends, they are feeling the pinch from this. They used to go every year to certain festivals and then going on holiday and various things, and they're really feeling really low about this. And this is what's causing people to do these illegal gatherings, illegal house parties, raves, and this is where obviously the police, and it is on the news that they're looking to clamp down on social gathering in masses of people. Now, it's tough if you're young, used to going to these festivals, you've had lots of experience with that, and it's a yearly event, you go with all your friends, and all of a sudden, bang, you can't go, you're left in a void. Bang, you can't go on holiday. Sorry, you can't go on holiday with your friends anymore because there's quarantine. You're not allowed to fly out, or you've got to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks. This is where the pressure's being put on to the public, to obviously the younger generation, who are taking it into their own hands to try and do these illegal house parties, illegal raves. It's not easy for the police to have to try and govern it. It is risking spreading the disease, because the conditions, obviously, as you know, if you've ever been out into a club, into a town, to a festival, it's hot, it's sweaty, you're shoulder to shoulder with everybody. It's amazing, and it has been amazing in the past, but it is perfect conditions to spread the coronavirus, and we all have to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more clever about what we're doing, and understand that if we take a break now, if we allow just that little bit longer to just social distance instead of crowding together, police getting involved and neighbours complaining because they can see these parties happening, we need to be a bit clever about this. It's not working out. It's going to be problematic for the generations of the future, because we're not helping ourselves in regards to spread, keeping this coronavirus at bay. We are really in quite a lot of trouble with that. So obviously I'm an older generation now. I'd say, it's easy for me to say. I know it's hard for you younger generation who are just struggling to come to terms with not being able to do the usual day-to-day life. But you know what? I'm sure there's ways you can do it. Video parties, video raves. For instance, there's a festival that happens very close to me called Reminisce Festival. They're doing a virtual Reminisce Festival where you have a live, you pay to go online, and they have live DJs, live acts playing, all socially distanced, and you can have small groups of people in your house and have your own little Reminisce festivals in your house. Now that is absolutely brilliant. You're still getting that environment, you're still getting your friends around, you're still being able to have a few drinks. It's 12 in the midday till 12 at night. It's a good long time for you to all have lots of fun, have lots of time to spend time with your family and your friends. So be careful, try and get involved in them instead of trying to physically be in contact with that hundreds of people in a club or somewhere where you're not supposed to be. And be safe, because it is for our future, it's for our children, for the next generations, and also the elderly generation who are not, who are more vulnerable and unfortunately do die to this horrible disease more often than younger generations. So come on, be clever. Okay, thank you very much for joining me once again. As always, I love doing these videos. I think it's really important that I get a little message out there to you guys about the current events. I do like to every now and again bring a video up that does talk about the coronavirus and how we're feeling, things that do involve us personally. And I know I do get a lot of feedback from that. Please leave comments below. Personal message me, follow me on my Facebook, my Instagram. And also my podcast is up and running now. Make sure you do follow me on that, because that's doing really well at the moment. There will be a podcast put out today as well. That'll be on a different subject. So yeah, please stay tuned. I love the support you give me. Please like and share my channel, because I want more subscribers. So please tell your friends about this channel, share it out there, get involved, and we can all do this together. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, I've been Positively Craig. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.